Look at this crazy dude. Can you do that? Look at that shit. Can you do that? Honestly. Can Anthony Joshua do that? You think Tyson Fury can do that? You think Joe Joyce is an athletic man? What do you think? Huh. This dude's a problem, man. Look, I know he was knocked out in the amateurs. I haven't seen the fights. I'm gonna check them out, but I'm not all that interested in that right now. I just want to look at boxing and talk about boxing skill. But obviously, a lot is gonna depend on how good Joe Joyce's chin is. Hopefully not. Look at the head movement. Does Anthony Joshua move his head like that? Does he? Does Wilder? Do they move like that? People people look at how relaxed and loose a fighter is, how flashy and exaggerated, and how much motion there is, right? People pick up motion, a lot of motion. And if someone could move smoothly and it's just more noticeable, you know? It looks more impressive. The guy's dancing more, right? It's a more expressive dance, if you will. And the average boxing fan will just notice it and they'll be impressed by it because something's happening, right? And that's not to say that fighters that move in that way aren't good necessarily. No. All I'm really trying to say is that it's not really about what it looks like. It's about what it does. Who remembers my Styles Make Fights video? Maybe it's time to remake it. What it does. So when you look at someone like Joe Joyce, it might look a little stiff, right? He doesn't necessarily look very relaxed. He's a little ponderous and plodding, right? But then you see Joe Joyce in this fight. And he's not really those things anymore, or less so. Look how fast his feet are. Can Anthony Joshua move like this? Not move like this, but cover this much area. Cover this much distance in as short of a time. Hmm? All the while remaining in position to throw punches. The most important thing. Look at it again. Let's slow it down. Yeah, I know. I'm doing it on YouTube. I don't give a fuck. I'm not downloading this fight. If you don't like my video, fuck off. That's an androgynous ref. That looks like a woman that's been on TRT since she was 12 or something. Right? Joyce could throw punches at any point. His feet are always in position, basically, right? And yet, he's covering a lot of ground, changing the angle. He's left and right. He dips when he throws his jab, moves his head off the line. See how he stepped off the line right there and threw a combination? He's going to the body. His punches are coming from different angles. That's... you don't want to be doing that against any top level guy, especially a good counter puncher. But you know, it is what it is. Look, he's constantly changing the angle, stepping off the line, throwing his punches, right? Moving his head. And yeah, he's fighting the guy that just wasn't ready. And that's too bad. That's really too bad because I really wanted to see more of Joyce. If I told you that Joyce moves better than Keith Thurman, people would say you don't know shit about boxing, right? Well, he does. Can show me a fight where Keith Thurman does this? You know what I mean? I don't give a shit what it looks like. What I'm interested in is what it does. That's not slow, right? He's more relaxed. He's not fast, but he throws a shit ton of punches, and they're not slow. He's a heavyweight. This is Tyson Fury, right? Can Keith Thurman, honestly, for those of you who are like, you don't know shit about boxing, Daniel Dubois would knock this guy out. Man, I would bet you, yeah, you wouldn't bet me saying that, so forget what I would want to bet if that fight were to happen next. Besides, wasn't Daniel Dubois offered the fight? And what happened there? Yeah, you don't know shit about boxing. Unless you do. Is that guy easy to hit? Does he look easy to hit to you? Does he? Bam. Find a Keith Thurman opponent that was weak like this guy and show me a fight that Keith just took a guy out like that. Keith Thurman. I don't know all his fights, but maybe it happened. I doubt it. How long was the fight? 20 seconds or something? Oh, I guess I was hopeful. Show me a Keith Thurman dancing around an opponent like that, popping the jab, controlling the distance with the jab, using head movement, changing levels, feints, crazy lateral movement to set up a knockout punch like that. I don't care if it's against a bum. Show me. And look, maybe he did. But that's a fucking welterweight. This is a 6'6", 250-pound man. And if his previous fights are any indication, stamina-wise, Joyce can do this for 12 rounds. Maybe not as well, but, you know, everybody gets tired a little bit. If Joyce could fight like that for 12 rounds, and I'm not saying he can, I need to see it. I need to see if he could fight like that for 6. He's got the stamina, but does he have the mental stamina to stay sharp like that and loose and relaxed? And, you know, we don't know any of that yet. But if he can sustain what he just did for 6 rounds, he's going to win 5 of those against anybody in the heavyweight division that's not prime Tyson Fury. Boom. Can Joshua do this? Like, for real, can he do that? No, he's not athletic enough. He's not naturally athletic enough. Do you see how he jabs? He's wide open there. I don't really like that, but you know, he's got Palmer in front of him. He's not worried about getting countered. See how he protects his chin when he throws the jab? See? He parries and punches at the same time, changes levels, moves his head as he's jabbing. He could jab you when he wants and you won't be able to hit him. unless you're like Floyd Mayweather, and who could counter like Floyd? And Floyd would have trouble with that sort of style. Someone doing that to him, you know. But there's no one in the division that's even, remotely close to Floyd athletically and boxing ability. So people, and I had a look at Josh Kelly too, some of his amateur fights, a couple, and he's got good fundamentals. He's got very good fundamentals. He's just fighting to gain fans and promote himself, but he better not get stuck in that mode, I think he should use his fundamentals too, as in not drop his hand so much, for starters, and start use his jab to set up shots. And he's gonna be all right. But, we could only go on what we have in front of us, and see how he gave him that feint, little head feint before he threw those punches? The punch technique, how he committed to him, the timing in the first round. Like, Joyce is a problem, man. I'm just saying. Josh Kelly, I gotta see more. Somebody asked me about Ryan Burnett. I think Primal Pixies won. I think that's who it was. I haven't seen any, but maybe I will. Obsession for LDVC. Maybe we'll talk about Wilder, Joshua next. Sorry, this video's kind of all over the place, but I was breaking up concrete all day and then I had a puff. So, it's not what it looks like. It's what it does. Styles make fights.